Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
This is Cinematic Motif. Hello, I'm Wanson, the film critic and the content creator, and welcome back to Cinematic Motif, where I introduce you films in Taiwan and around the world. Alright, it is that time of the year. Welcome to the Christmas edition of Cinematic Motif. We've done this last year, and yeah, we have a lot of sound effects that is very Christmassy. Alright, so Merry Christmas everyone. If you are in the other countries outside of Taiwan, Merry Christmas to you. If you're here in Taipei, I believe you have a lot of, a bit of festive feelings. Back in the good old days, we have a Christmas market in the Xinyi district here in Taipei, but I don't know if there is one this year. But anyway, Merry Christmas to you. So as always, I'm going to recommend some Christmas movies to you, but we've done that last year, so today I think I'm going to do something a bit different. I'm going to share a film that would give you a bit of Christmas vibe, but it's not a very traditional Christmas movies, because we've already talked about the traditional Christmas movies last year. So guess what? Today we are going to talk about the Grand Budapest Hotel. Unexpected, right? There's a scene when the characters are chasing with each other in the snow. I think that is the moment I feel like, okay, this is a Christmas film, and it's very quirky, very funny, and very a good one for Christmas, I would say. Alright, so today we're going to talk about the film, including its reference to Nazism, and of course we're going to talk about the Alexandre Desplat's music and everything in between. So let's get started! Okay, so if you're a new friend, you didn't expect that coming, right? That is the Christmas edition of our background music. Alright, anyway. Okay, so The Grand Budapest Hotel is a 2014 comedy drama film written and directed by Wes Anderson, and the film's cast is led by Ralph Fiennes as Monsieur Gustave H. And he is a very famed concierge of a 20th century mountainside resort in the fictional country of Zubrówka. So this country is said to be in the Eastern Europe. So, it all talks about the Grand Budapest Hotel, and in this hotel, a writer remembers a stay at the hotel during the off-season many years ago and recalls the tales he heard of the hotel's past from the elderly owner, Mr. Zero Mustafa. Okay, so basically, it is a framed story. It's what in literary theory we call it mise en abîme. So it's a story within a story. But actually, in this movie, it is a story within a story within a story. So, it's about a novel. In a novel, it talks about the writer, and then the writer talks about the story he heard of from the Zero, this new owner of the hotel, and Zero talks about the story he had with Monsieur Gustave H., the old concierge of the hotel. Okay, so young Zero was a lobby boy at the time and accompanies Gustave to the reading of a will after one of their regular guests dies. And this guest leaves Gustave a valuable painting, but when the woman's son challenges the will, Gustave and Mustafa steal the painting away. And it was that moment that the whole series of events set off. It will lead to Mustafa's present circumstance. And this film is a really, really good one. So it was premiered in competition at the 64th Berlin International Film Festival, and it was nominated for 9 awards at the Oscars, including Best Picture. And in the end, it won 4 awards at the Oscars. So, remember I talked about my love for Alexandre Desplat in another episode last year, because I love Alexandre Desplat. He is my favorite film music composer of all time. And then I got the chance to listen to his concert here in Taipei last month. It was brilliant, and our famous director Ang Lee was also there at the concert. So at the concert, of course, Alexandre Desplat performed this piece of music from the Grand Budapest Hotel. So I think I should give you a bit of listen so that you can understand what I'm talking about when I'm referring to Alexandre Desplat's music. And of course, when you listen, when you hear the tune, the melodies, you would know that this is from the Grand Budapest Hotel. So as you can hear, Desplat has, blends the Central and Eastern European folk colors with classical elegance. Classical elegance is his he's good at classical music. But there is the Central and Eastern Europe folk music. He spent a lot of time learning these different instruments that he was not familiar with. So all these instruments give the music a playful and storybook quality that mirrors Wes Anderson's visual symmetry. And beneath the whimsical rhythms, there is a persistent sense of melancholy, reminding us this is a story told from memory after loss. That is Mr. Mustafa's theme from the movie The Grand Budapest Hotel. This whole score was composed by Mr. Alexandre Desplat. And this, you can hear from the music, this is so it sounds exactly like Alexandre Desplat, but the instruments are different. The instruments are very, very cool. And one of the very important themes in this movie, I would say, is the fight with Nazism, especially fascist. Okay, so in this movie, the whole setting was in between the First World War and the Second World War. So it's totally a fake story. It's totally a fantasy movie. But you can hear, you can feel, you can read the reference to Nazism, the Nazis, during the interwar period. Well, there is a term, interwar period, I'm so sorry. So the fictional ZZ troops are thinly veiled stand-in for Nazi forces, and it makes the film political stance clear without explicit historical realism. Well, in an interview, Wes Anderson once said that because it's not exactly the true history, because our country is a made-up country, and sort of a pastiche of different countries. It's a little more of an impressionist version of the war, but I think it's pretty clear what historical things we're referring to, and hopefully it conveys this sense of this cloud and the doom of Europe that was coming. Especially this film, it was talking about Eastern Europe, and that's why I think the Nazism reference is very important and it's a very interesting thing. So the rise of authoritarian violence directs contrast with the hotel's earlier world of manners, rituals, and civility. Mr. Gustav H was someone who's always doing doing things very politely, and he respects each guest in the hotel. But Wes Anderson contrasts the ZZ troops, the regime's obsession with order and uniformity, against the hotel's ritualized but voluntary etiquette, and it all highlights the difference between discipline and coercion. It also makes us understand how authoritarian regime can be so violent, and they just don't listen. They just do whatever they want. Wes Anderson frames Nazism not through spectacle, but through its erosion of everyday life, including the borders in the movie, the uniforms of these troops, the fear. Especially when Mr. Gustav and Zero, they were crossing the borders on the train, while you can feel the authoritarian the troops, and you feel that fear. Especially, only the immigrants were inspected. Zero is one of the immigrants. Zero is, his skin color is just not white. So it's not just about the reference to Nazism, but also referring to the potential, the racial discrimination back in the time. Sorry that I usually make things sound too political. Well, that was the track from the movie The Grand Budapest Hotel. The track name title is actually Canto at Gabelmeister's Peak. So this is part of their journey while they were fighting the family violence of the violence of the rich family. Okay, so this whole movie's it's the history part, the Nazism, is more of the backstory, the background of the story. But the story itself still focuses on the rich family's violence toward Mr. Gustav and Zero, because these two men, they got the chance to inherit the very expensive, very valuable painting from the old lady. So I believe what Wes Anderson wants to convey with this movie is more of about human bonding and human trust. So here's the thing. There are two different layers of human bonding. First of all is the friendship and loyalty between Mr. Gustav and Zero. Though they were in this sort of situation that sounds very, very dangerous, they never, give up on each other. They always try to help each other and save each other. And, it's this sort of friendship in the time when the whole world is going down, the whole world is dooming. Well, this sort of friendship is very, very precious. And also, there is another thing in this story that I find really, really interesting. That is the Cross Keys Society. So, if you've watched all the way to the movie, you would see that in the very end, it was this whole society that saved Mr. Gustav. And the society is composed of different hotels from different parts of the world. And they all have that same they have the same spirit. That is, they want to serve their clients the best, and they help each other with the booking, with the housekeeping, with the hotel's management, and of course, when the managers of the hotels are in some dangerous situation, they would help each other and help them to get through get out from the difficult situation. So, there is a horizontal network of trust, and it's operating outside official power structures and nationalist borders. And it's unlike authoritarian hierarchies, the society relies on reciprocity and shared ethical codes rather than force or surveillance. And the instant recognition among concierge shows how trust can be institutional yet deeply personal and grounded in a professional solidarity. So it is in this sort of moment of crisis, the doom of Europe, with the ZZ troops, the society becomes a counter system to fascist control, and it enables movement, refuge, and resistance. So, in this whole movie, through the Cross Keys Society and Gustav Zero's relationship, I think the whole film argues that trust is a collective practice. It's not just an individual virtue, and I think that is very, very beautiful in this movie in particular. So at the very end of the show today, I'm going to play you a little track from the original soundtrack of the Grand Budapest Hotel. This track's title is The Society of the Crossed Keys. This is exactly the theme of the Cross Keys Society. I hope you can feel the harmony and then, retrust the human bonding that Wes Anderson is trying to convey to us in this movie. Alright, so that is all for our show today on Cinematic Motif. As always, if you've got anything that you want to tell me, please send your email to wanson@rti.org.tw. You can also follow me on Instagram and YouTube. My handle is @wansonscafe. This has been Cinematic Motif. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Wanson, and Merry Christmas. I'll be back next week. Have a lovely Christmas. Goodbye.
From the London Underground
精美、精锐、
to the Taipei Metro,
精美搜寻。
the people of our world are going places. Are you listening? Tune in to the sounds of your world on Radio Taiwan International.